Our two matches tonight, Arsenal versus Manchester United.
Bradford to his right, Bradford!
And from the Midlands, Wolves versus Spurs.
That's to Chillers. Mullery. Peters, Mullery!
Plus, of course, the comments of the Arsenal goalkeeper Bob Wilson, who today produced a moment like this.
United got a man over for a change. Best! He was onside! Wilson out! Beautifully taken!
And we continue with that match, Arsenal versus Manchester United at Highbury. Arsenal looking for their first win of the season today against Manchester United, looking for their first point of the season. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
Arsenal back at Highbury for the first time since winning the European Players' Cup. The cup in the hands of skipper Frank McClintock, Bob Wilson there to his left, and good to see at long last, I must say, Frank McClintock being able to get his hands on a trophy after such wretched luck at Wembley in his career with Leicester and with Arsenal. Supporters rising to the team. They must feel too that the start that Arsenal have made away from home, picking up 2 points, augurs well for a further improvement of the Arsenal in the 70s. They must feel that the Players' Cup is just the start of something new at Highbury. But they've had some wretched luck with injuries, and they've got to do without Charlie George, Peter Simpson and John Samuels for quite a time. They, of course, are all missing from the lineup this afternoon. An interesting choice of Peter Storey at number 8, Marinello going to the substitutes bench. It could well be that his presence in midfield will allow George Graham and Kelly more license to go forward, which of course will add to the test on the Manchester United defence, at the centre of whom is the man who left Arsenal just 12 months ago, Ian Ure. And curiously, it's exactly 7 years to the day that Ian Ure came down from Scotland, from Dundee, to join Arsenal. And joining him in the back four this afternoon, one Norbert Stiles, wearing the number 2 shirt, Paul Edwards having moved to the substitutes bench. And I must say it's very nice to see Dennis Law back in business with United. Gordon Hill, the referee, just back from a summer in America, the schoolmaster from Leicester. Arsenal in their traditional red shirts, and Manchester United this afternoon wearing blue. Arsenal in the person of John Radford to kick off. Number 8 there, Peter Storey. A match which last season produced a very, very interesting 2-2 draw, with Manchester United coming from behind after being a goal down in only 90 seconds. It's young Kennedy to Armstrong. Turney down across. Radford. The first of many runs down that flank from Bob McNabb. Frank McClintock. He has made a very good start to the season, had a fine game against West Ham Monday night. Radford. Rice. Armstrong coming across. Kennedy also. The two Arsenal players running across the face of 3 United players, and an Arsenal header who made it from this man, George Armstrong. Kennedy was there by his side. Graham. Fitzpatrick wanted a free kick for pushing. Charlton. Best. To Morgan. Fitzpatrick, quickly seen that by Roberts. Kennedy running across, taking Sadler with him. Well, Radford wasn't offside. But he's got nobody in the middle though. It was a good bit of running by Radford. Storey now in the middle, and Kelly, and Rice. It's Rice's. It's Stepney's. And a free kick must be given against Peter Storey. Cannoned into Alex Stepney, who in turn cannoned into the post. Kelly. That's a nice ball to Graham. Rice finding a lot of room on this flank. Looks a bit long. Radford! And Styles is furious about something. But Radford given much too much time there by Tony Dunn. Curran, Law just ahead of him, pointing. Fitzpatrick moving forward well. Good positioning by Fitzpatrick. Roberts with him. Best coming into it. It's a nice attack from United, and a free kick given for a little bit of elbow by Peter Storey. 10 minutes of the match gone, and no score. 3 men in the wall. Best making a move, and he's got round the back of them. And they're in trouble. Morgan, a little bit lucky to get away with that. A little bit unlucky, Morgan. Bradford. The free kick to be given against Ian Ure. Styles once more acting as assistant to the referee. On by Kelly. 14 minutes and a goal by John Radford. Just a very simple little side foot, or he made it look simple from the pass by Kelly. A simple goal from a set piece. A lovely little flick by Kelly, but a lot too much room given to Radford. He made good use of it. Alex Stepney, really no chance. John Radford, top scorer last season in the league with 12 goals, and has got Arsenal off to a good start in their first match at home in this league season. Kelly to Armstrong. Kelly, who really started the whole thing. Nice little flick. Bobby Charlton. Tony Dunn. Best. Getting round them. 3 in the box. United really had Arsenal in trouble again, simply through this man, George Best. Wilson was struggling to get back, and the back line really were not in a position to defend the goal, simply to head it out. Bob Wilson, Sadler on the line in front of him. Fitzpatrick trying to get up, Roberts making it better. Sadler a little bit slow. Kennedy against Ure. Two of them pretty close together, Kennedy and Ure. Storey has moved to the inside right position. Armstrong in the middle. Radford on his own. Well, Stepney and Sadler have every right to say, why did you leave this man completely unmarked? 2 goals in 4 minutes for Arsenal, and John Radford gets them both. A lot of credit to Ray Kennedy for this goal, because he ran wide, took Ure with him, who was never close enough to get any sort of tackle. Sadler trying all the time to cover at the back as the ball went across. A lot of bad marking, and Sadler in the end on the line couldn't do very much about it. And the interesting thing about that was the number of players, 3 in number, who ran some 25 yards to be in a good position. Armstrong in the middle, Radford on the left, and Radford got it. Roberts had the stretch again there. Just the sort of start that Arsenal supporters wanted. Crerand. Law going in, comfortable for Wilson. Kennedy. Radford. Graham is in the middle, and Fitzpatrick has come back to mark him. This is Kennedy, Sadler with him. Rice. Radford! And again timing his leap better than Ian Ure. Well, he got a knock in the stomach for his pains. Free kick to Manchester United. Crerand to take it. He touched it, so it's a corner. Ian Ure just gone up in the box, number 5, right in the middle. Graham is up there, beautifully taken. Fitzpatrick looking for the tackle a little bit, but played it nicely. Best. A little bit of pushing by Rice, I would have thought. They get a corner for it. Charlton coming across to join Best. Dunn running into the inside left position. This is Dunn. Wilson gets through the crowd. Roberts. Fitzpatrick. Crerand. Styles. Nice acrobatics. But in fact somebody had moved offside. Bobby Styles backtracks. Kennedy. Radford to his right. Radford! It was labelled. It was going for the corner until Stepney got the right hand to it. John Radford winning the ball in the air, much too much for Manchester United's comfort. Armstrong with the corner. Graham coming to the near post. A header by Roberts. Morgan's come over on this wing. Best has gone to the other. Law. Morgan moving into the middle. Fitzpatrick. Wilson totally untroubled. Pat Crerand hasn't stamped his mark on this game at all yet. Pushing by Ure on Kennedy. Both Ure and Sadler not happy in the air against Kennedy and Radford. But perhaps it's worth recalling that Arsenal were 2 up in the match last season, which ended 2-2. Radford! Off Sadler. John Radford clearly has the smell of a hat-trick in his nostrils. 10 minutes now, the first half remaining. Arsenal leading by 2-0. Crerand, Law, Charlton, Styles moving up to the right, number 2. 3 in the middle, Best. It's a good header. It went up and it curled. Law is up just short of the line. Going for it now, but had no chance of getting there. Bob Wilson was looking very confident when he comes off his line. Kerrand. McClintock. Kelly, Charlton on it. Bob Wilson always down at the feet in classic style, back to help out. And the referee presumably has given offside. I can't think what else he's given, must be offside. You have to take the free kick. Law up with Story, Fitzpatrick. Wilson recovering well. For a moment he lost sight of the ball. Marked by this man, Fitzpatrick. At the moment, Manchester United trying very hard to make bricks without straw. Charlton, Best. Moore is offside. Moved just a bit too soon. The free kick some 20 yards back. Conversation with Bob Wilson. The best piece of play I've seen from Nobby Stiles. He's annoyed about it, but Gordon Hill quite right. A very wild swing of the foot. No doubt that Nobby Stiles is getting all that he asked for from the referee. And Gordon Hill asked for none of that. Armstrong and Stiles. Charlton. Best, 3 forward for Manchester United. Charlton square. Coming to Craren, that was a lovely ball. Free kick must be given. The referee keeping play in motion, but no doubt that Fitzpatrick fouled the goalkeeper. Stiles, straight to Graham, picking up an awful lot of loose stuff from this Manchester United defence. Armstrong! The good punch, and both hurt. Both Armstrong and Alex Stepney laid out in the 6-yard box. We've got both trainers on. Oops, as though the shoulder might be in some trouble. It's the sort of thing that could well have caused a collarbone, but I certainly hope it's not that. Looks as though he's going to soldier on. We go back for the drop ball. And in fact, we don't even reach that situation, so that injury, in fact, coming right on the edge of injury time. A situation which is very, very happy for Arsenal, leading by 2-0, scored in the space of 4 minutes by this man, John Radford, in the 14th and 18th minutes. Well, the treatment seems to have worked. That's the shoulder that caused the trouble. And he's flexing a little bit, Alex Stepney. United have got enough problems without having to do without him. Gordon Hill had a very good game so far. His first game of the season, this, in fact, and the match being played behind closed doors. The gates were locked before the match started. Arsenal leading by 2-0. And they were 2 ahead in this match last season. Manchester United came back to make it a draw at 2 each. Best didn't quite have the angle. And we need to see a lot of George Best in this half, though. Manchester United in the darker shirts and the darker socks. Arsenal have a white hoop on the top of the socks. See on George Graham there. Story. Armstrong. Graham diagonally forward. Not pushed anything like hard enough. Manchester United have got a man over for a change. Best. He was onside. Wilson out. Beautifully taken. Never took his eye off the ball for a second. George Best trying to dummy him. Wilson didn't want to know. Sadler. Just not clearing their lines at all. They've got two men over now on this side. This is Armstrong. Graham in the middle. Kennedy. Well, he made a mess of the header, but my heaven, he reacted quickly to get a chance with his left foot. United keep running themselves into trouble. Radford. The free kick has been given to Styles. They were going to argue with the referee, who quite inadvertently gave him one of the best shoulder charges I've seen. Styles was on his knees as a result. Three men in the wall. Kelly got through. It shouldn't have done, but it did. Yeah. Every time a pass is made like that, it puts the pressure again on an already suspect defence. Stepney in a bit of trouble there from Kelly. Little Eddie Kelly, he was the man who scored the vital first goal in the second leg of the Fairs Cup. Player of a lot of promise. And going there to take the corner. Kennedy in the 6-yard box. It's going to Graham. Roberts. The miscue. Charlton. Law's moved away. Rice. Story is forward of him. Kelly square. Wasn't much fight in that tackle, nor in that one. Graham. Rice. Graham. Story. Kennedy going in. Redford! His third goal after 15 minutes of the second half, and what a start to Arsenal's home season. Alex Stepney still on his knees, clearly hurt as the ball went into the corner. Again, a lot of credit to Ray Kennedy, this time in the air. First of all comes the first time cross from Peter Story. Kennedy, for the umpteenth time, wins the ball in the air. Radford coming in is unmarked. Sadler is never there in time. Stepney now has got the best off and is giving it to David Sadler. Sympathetic applause from the gathering at Highbury. Paul Edwards will be the substitute to come on, but David Sadler is the new goalkeeper. There's young Paul Edwards. Came into the side last season, made his debut against Everton, in fact, on August the 19th. David Sadler, the new goalkeeper. He's quite adept at the art, too. that's the situation. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 0, and Manchester United with David Sadler in goal. And John Redford with the ball there completes a hat-trick. Foul against Dennis Law, bit of pushing. Kennedy. Bradford's. Then he got Kennedy up with him. Armstrong behind him. Graham going in. Bob Wilson, that just had a glance at. Very happy, as is George Graham. Again, a goal from a cross, which points the main weakness in this Manchester United side. Perhaps if Stepney had been there, he might have come for it. As it is, George Graham ran about 20 yards, got between two men, and again, the ball was won by Arsenal in the air. I suppose one might argue that Stepney, had he been there, might have come for the ball, but there were defenders there. 4-0 to Arsenal. 23 minutes of the second half gone. Law underneath it. Styles in there. Goal kick. One of the few occasions that Manchester United have kept possession then. Rice. Kelly. That's an awkward one. And it went off Graham. Off Kennedy, but there's a bit of pushing. In fact, it touched both Graham and Kennedy, but I think there was a foul on David Sadler. It's no goal anyway. Who so desperately wants to do well. He hasn't really settled down at Highbury yet. Done. What a terribly late tackle by Styles. Really, some of his timing belongs to next season. Two on the far post. You're getting the header. Graham. Oh, he wanted that to drop for him. What a nice bit of play. Armstrong. Deserved a goal. Kennedy, got by Ure. Really some beautiful play then between Graham and Armstrong. Lovely one-touch football which very nearly produced a nice goal. Graham. Marinello. Kennedy. Where a regular goalkeeper might well have caught the ball. Law. Morgan. And Arsenal just playing with a team that once was Manchester United. And we move into injury time. And it really is an extraordinary coincidence that the score should be almost the same on the two Saturdays. Last season it was 4-1 home defeat by Southampton. This season 4-0 away defeat by Arsenal. And in each case, the man in the number 9 shirt scored 3. Pat Rice. Kennedy. Marinello. Law. And Mr. Hill brings A very impressive performance by Arsenal. A totally, thoroughly disappointing performance by Manchester United. Arsenal really in very good nick indeed, scoring 4 times, 3 of them from John Radford and the other one from number 11 there on the right, George Graham. 4-0 to Arsenal, and they can be very, very happy at their start at home in the new season.
Now for our second match, and that's also from the First Division. It's from the Midlands, Wolves versus Spurs. Wolves without a point this season against Spurs, who've got 1 point from their 2 games. Commentator Ken Wolstenholme.
The Midlands area, flooded during the past few days by torrential rain, has dawned bright and warmer than of late, a more cheerful weather scene that has made the Wolves fans hope for a change in their fortunes. Not since January the 24th have they won a Football League game. But in midweek, they thrilled their fans by losing to Derby County in a game which produced 6 goals in 15 minutes. As a result of that, Wolves have stiffened their midfield department by bringing back Danny Hegan, a close-season signing from West Bromwich Albion. Another close-season signing, Bobby Gould from Arsenal, steps into the number 12 shirt. The Tottenham Hotspur, who've gained 1 point from 2 home games, give Joe Kinnear and Roger Morgan their first games of the season and pin many of their hopes on the England combination of Alan Mullery and Martin Peters. Altogether, they've got 8 internationals in their side, which cost over £800,000 in transfer fees. The referee, Mr. Harold Williams, comes from Sheffield. A goodly crowd, Tottenham Hotspur to kick off. 1 linesman from Pontypridd, Mr. Fly, and Mr. Wheaton from Reading. Both these teams looking for their first win of the season. Throw to Wolves. Bailey. Just a slight breeze. Blowing towards the goal that Spurs are defending, and here's Peters, number 10. The nose. Bailey. Throw to Wolves, Hugh Curran, number 10. Good throw, good running by Bailey, but not quite quickly enough. Oh, a bad mistake by England. That was one of those indecisive moments which no First Division side can have. Derek Dugan as sharp as ever in on that dreadful back pass. The Spurs nearly conceded a goal out of nothing. Mullery, Chivers, and Chivers, a lot of power, he scored! Chivers came through with an awful lot of power then. A lucky rebound, but he scored after 13 minutes. The lucky rebound was really a very weak tackle by Bailey. Watch as Mullery slips the ball to Chivers. As Bailey comes in to tackle Chivers, he goes in very weakly. The ball just ricochets off his right foot, and Chivers, showing a great deal of strength, hits that between 2 defenders into the net. And a foul by England, holding Dugan down. Clash of the real giants, Mike England there and Derek Dugan. Look at the size of them. Hegan with the free kick for Wolves. Parkin. A corner kick. Good shot by Parkin. Very difficult to know what to do when Spurs have brought back 11 men in defence. It's a corner then to Wolves. Bailey. Curran. Where's the referee? No goal. Curran finding Jennings off his line. Jennings quick to get back. 1 or 2 of the Wolves players, though, thought Jennings had fallen over his line, but the referee was right on the spot. Certainly, Spurs have that quite a big edge in class in midfield. Peters to Chivers. Now Peters, Mullery gone forward. It's Alan Mullery. He's playing so well in midfield, combining well with Perryman and Peters. To Hegan. Wolves hoping for a free kick, not getting it. So away goes Kinnear. Mullery wandering off into a nice open space. There he is. And laid on now for Morgan. And it's a goal. 5 minutes from half time and a lovely goal scored by Morgan.
Great running off the ball by Mullery. Made that goal. He ran square with Kinnear, pushed the ball through to Chivers, and then Morgan coming round on the blind side of the defence, running onto that flick from Chivers, and it was the second goal.
Roger Morgan gets his first goal of the season in his first match of the season. That's the position, and not a happy one for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Second goal of complete simplicity. Perryman to Morgan. Mullery. That was tipping badly from Alan Mullery. A terribly difficult ball for the goalkeeper to take. Hegan, Munro coming up on his right. This is Munro. Number 8, Hegan. Determination of Bailey to Curran. Oh, what a shot! That was the shot of the match so far from Hugh Curran. And you can see how much the crowd loved that sort of shooting. And the whistle goes for the end of the first half. Spurs, who took the lead through Chivers after 13 minutes, and after 40 minutes, Roger Morgan made it 2-0. Wolverhampton Wanderers facing problems now. 2-0 down on their own ground to Tottenham Hotspur. They've now conceded 9 goals in 2.5 matches. Certainly, Wolves are going to have to show a lot more sharpness up front than they did in the first half if they're going to worry Spurs at all in this game. Mullery. That one from Gilzine, now McCalliob. And it's been the Wolves' trouble all through the first half. So many misplaced passes. Gilzine. Oldfield brought up one miraculous save in the first half. Ominous clouds coming overhead. Looks as if we could have another one of these Midland downpours. Peters for Tottenham. There's a lucky rebound for Chivers. Knowles. That's to Chivers. Mullery. Peters. Mullery. Well, Mullery, the ball just wouldn't come to him quickly enough. It was beautifully worked move by Mullery and by Peters. Throw in to Spurs. Chivers can send in long ones when he's got a mind to. Gilzean. England sportingly apologising to Oldfield, but there isn't a footballer on this pitch that would have blamed Mac England for going for that ball. Gilzean, a good header he laid. It on put Wolves in trouble. And a free kick this time, given against England on Dugan. Free kick to the Wolves. Dugan, the man facing the ball. And McCallioh. Dugan. And the corner kick. Parkin coming up. Almost catching the Spurs defence, going the wrong way, creating an open goal situation. Wagstaff going to tick the corner for Wolves. And another corner. Yes. 20 minutes of the second half gone. Not a happy second half for Wolves, even though they haven't dropped further behind. They're still 2-0 down. Wagstaff. Spurs have everybody back in defence. Morgan to Gilzean. What a quick break by Tottenham. That was a lesson in how to pass a ball straight across to Kinnear. Murray, and marked on the right is Murray. Kinnear to Perryman. Peters to Perryman. That was good running off the ball to create the space to Gilzean. Well, a wretched finish to a beautiful move. Such a finish by Alan Gilzean must have stopped his foot. Good steady downpour now. Morgan. Chivers to Murray. To Peters. And Oldfield somehow got that away. Good brave goalkeeping. He was under tremendous pressure. This isn't a very quick build-up, but there aren't many Wolves players getting back to challenge in defence. Mallory to Peters. Mallory. It's a goal! 20 more minutes of the second half gone, and Mallory completely shocked Oldfield. Oldfield was taken by surprise, I suppose. Poor old John Oldfield just doesn't know what hit him. Now that's 10 goals in 3 matches Wolves have conceded. Mallory. Chivers. Gilzean. Peters. And Gilzean running well inside the back. Corner kick. And I think Parkin is hurt, is he? Well, he's only got a few seconds left to suffer the agony before he can have proper attention. Gilzean ran well behind the back then. And the whistle goes for the end of the match. The 16th Football League game without a win for Wolverhampton Wanderers, beaten 3-0 by Tottenham Hotspur.
Wolves, of course, still chasing their first point in the First Division, and so too Manchester United, the team we saw in the first match. But here are his comments now on tonight's coverage and also the match in which he played. Bob Wilson, the Arsenal goalkeeper, and well satisfied once more this week, Bob, with the Arsenal performance.
Marvellous week for us, really, David, and today it's been a great performance for us. We're the side that obviously we're having a bit of trouble with injuries, but the lads who are in are doing a fantastic job, they really are.
What are two strange names really in the Arsenal side? I mean, there's Roberts, isn't there? There's Eddie Kelly and young Ray Kennedy.
Yes, well, they're strange at the moment, but I don't think they'll be strange for long. I think we're going to hear a lot more. John Roberts is doing a very good job for Peter Simpson. Eddie Kelly's already stamped himself last year, and Ray Kennedy I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of.
And I bet you've heard a lot of John Radford in the dressing room after that hat-trick today.
Oh, yes. John was very, very pleased. Another hat-trick for him. He's had one every year now for the last, I think the last 5 seasons he's had a hat-trick, and he's very pleased with it.
Actually, the goals came in various ways, and possibly defensive errors, Bob.
Yes, well, here was the first one from a dead ball situation. A free kick, Eddie Kelly moves in, and John meets it with his left foot, and Alex Stepney's wrong-footed, really. And the second goal came from a ball pushed out to the right wing. This is young Ray Kennedy onto it. Ian York faces him. Ray swings it over. There's a bit of a challenge there, and John Radford's left very much unchallenged, and he strikes it in with his left foot. David Sadler making an effort to recover. There's the man who scored it. And the third goal, a nice little move really. The ball came to George Graham, who showed lovely close control before pushing it to Peter Storey. Now it's a lovely weighted ball, first time. Ray Kennedy again into the danger area, and a little bit of suspicion of a miscue there from John Radford. I suspect that it went off the outside of his right foot, but they all count.
You wouldn't say it was that clever, in fact.
No, I don't think so. I must admit, I think that was a little bit of luck there, but it was in the net.
That second goal, Bob, the United defence was in an appalling mess, wasn't it?
Well, it was really, and I'm afraid the highlight of their, to me, was that they were so susceptible to any high ball. In fact, most of our goals came from crosses, and we looked very dangerous, although, again, great credit due to John Radford and Ray Kennedy, who had the beating of them in many ways.
You may remember, Bob, last year when we'd got bad weather conditions and so on, we covered a reserve match at your ground, Arsenal reserves against Spurs reserve, mainly because Jimmy Greaves was playing in the match.
Yes.
But I saw young Ray Kennedy play then, and he did impress me in all this. He scored a very good goal. And my impression watching the recording tonight was that he was involved an awful lot and is working well with John Radford.
Yes, he was working very, very well. Here we see George Best, an uncharacteristic pass, which is picked up by George Armstrong. He hits a diagonal ball, a fine ball, but here you see a marvellous running off the ball itself by Ray Kennedy. The effect of this running is to stretch the defence and also to get them turning. As Ian York comes to challenge here, Ray puts the ball behind him, it's swung over, there's a challenge, that's George Armstrong who's run all the way, John Radford again totally unmarked and almost having too much time, David Sadler unfortunately going off his left foot. Fortunately for Arsenal. But, and here we see the third goal, George Graham passing to Peter Storey, a first-time ball into the middle. As we stop the action, we see the height Ray Kennedy gets there, above Ian York, nodding it back down into the danger area, and John Radford finishing it off with that outside of the foot gem.
Bob, we were talking about the United defence. They've obviously got one or two problems there. What about their attack?
Well, they've got so many good players, David. I feel that we always feel that they're capable of scoring goals. Even when we were 2-0 up, we were saying, don't be surprised if they get a goal. They've got good players. They've got Best and Morgan and Bobby Charlton, and you always feel this. But
didn't their best effort, though, come from Nobby Starr? I think it was this save of yours, wasn't it?
Well, it was early on in the first half, resulted from a scrimmage, and the ball came back, headed out, and Nobby hit it with his left foot to my right. And I saw it very well, and I was happy to hang on to it. I also had one early in the first half, a header from Pat Crerand, and I made ground very quickly because you know once you challenge you have to make the ground. But I must say I was particularly chuffed today with one when it was George Best and he was through on his own, tight control, and I just managed to get it away from his feet. That one particularly I was pleased with because George has such close control, and normally I look for a yard, and with a player like him you don't have it, so I was pleased.